Okay, you're live.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm going to call this meeting of the Board of Supervisors of Elections to order on Thursday, August 22nd, 2024 at 7 o'clock. Roll call, myself, Eileen Leahy, and Debbie Yatzik.
Present.
Okay, we have City Clerk Regina Watkins Eldridge. All right. And
excuse me, Madeline, if you can hear me, can you send the link to Cynthia? She said she can't get on.
Yeah, no. Cynthia from the Office of Law.
Yes, Cynthia Bruder. Yes, she just sent me a message.
I can do that.
Thank you.
Regina, was there any public comment or comments submitted?
No.
Okay. And just as a follow-up, last month when we had a comment from Trudy McFall, I did follow up with her, and she is aware of our meetings and moving forward. So, all right, approval of the minutes from the 18th. Pull them up. I didn't have anything that I saw. Did you see anything, Debbie?
No, they look fine. I looked at them. Okay. I move for approval of the minutes of July 18th, 2024.
All right, and I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And
thank you, Regina.
On elections. Regina, do you want us to wait for Teresa, or you want to go?
No, I just want to let you know that we work with the MIT department, and the maps with the new updates from the redistricting will be printed, and I mean some will be printed, but they will be electronically pasted on our website in January, because the county asked us not to post the maps until after the presidential election was over, because it could be confusing to citizens.
Okay.
Okay, and we did receive a certificate of candidacy yesterday from a Robert Gunsberger.
Okay.
Yeah, he wants to run for Ward 1. We have the application, but we still need to go through the process. So that's why it's not on your agenda today. We have to wait for feedback from the county regarding his voter registration status.
Okay. What party is he registered? What party is he registered?
To tell you the truth, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Real quick, going back to the maps and the redistricting, I thought that I saw something from Mitchell that she sent out to Annapolis saying that those maps were going to be available.
Not until January.
Well, could they be, if they're not available online till January, can they be available for people who are interested or need to start planning for, whether they're going to run or
we're going to send it once they're on our website. We're going to send a link to everybody who's running, or we have a certificate of candidacy from them. They will get a notification that the maps are ready for viewing. And the
county won't be till January.
Yes, because the county felt like that with the presidential general election coming up, that we don't need to post anything about any new districting or precinct maps. It would be confusing.
Yeah. But if people, I'm already being asked about seeing the redistricting maps for the city. So is there a way where if people
they're not even ready yet? We don't have anything ready now. Okay. Nothing. Sean Wampler, and she's working with the county and the state to make sure that all of the maps line up, because there's a process that goes through Maryland voters so we have to wait until that process is done before we can post the actual maps, because we want to make sure they're correct.
Okay. So if it's open now for people to file for office, if someone wants to see what ward they'll be in, they can check with you.
Yeah, they can still check. We can still verify through the county. Yes.
Right. And I think keep in mind that I think it only is going to affect about 200 people.
Yeah, it's not a lot at all.
Not a big change.
No.
It's just a Ward 1 and Ward 6, right? Just that border of Ward 1 and Ward 6.
Okay.
I think that's some of Ward 1 went into Ward 6, I think.
No,
Okay.
Ward 6 is in Eastport.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I thought it was
Right.
Ward-
But I think that section of Ward 1 over off of Spa Road is
It's-
sliding into Ward 5 has.
Oh, I
very-
see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. It is Truxton Heights. Yeah, you're right. So, yeah, I'm looking at this thing that Mitchell was sending out, but it doesn't have a date.
No, because we decided January
Okay.
because
All
we
right.
were asked to wait until
All right.
January.
Well, if somebody wants to run, they can call your
Well,
office and find
they
out.
can call our office and we will definitely tell them as soon as it's available, we will email it to them. Email them the link to the website to look at the maps.
Okay. All right. I see that Cynthia has joined us. Welcome. And okay. All right. So what else, Regina? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, those were the highlights so far. We you guys should view the 2025 election page. It is up,
Mhm.
and we've been
saw it.
getting so many great comments on the page.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
good.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of comments on the page. People were saying that it's really clean and really neat and easy to navigate.
Good.
Sweet.
One of the things I know we've been working on the campaign fund report revision.
Mhm.
As you and Teresa start looking at things, will you let us know what other forms you think need to be updated through the board? I know probably things like the handbook and that kind of thing, but
Oh yeah.
if there's any forms that need to be changed.
We think the forms are all fine. We made that were on the website because there weren't anything that changed in the code sections that would require us to change the form. So
Okay.
they're fine. The certificate of candidacy with the updates that you requested, we did send those over to MIT, but let me just let you know, we're having construction done in our office. So, and then we had offices that were opened across the street by MIT. So the MIT department has been busy with changing locations of some of the city employees and setting up new offices. So they are running a little bit behind.
Okay, so it's the campaign fund report, not the certificate of candidacy.
Yeah, the campaign fund report. The certificate of candidacy is fine.
Yeah, if
We
we could
just
get it-
added, we did add the one line to make sure that we had email addresses for the candidate and the treasurer.
Okay, but if we could get a look at it in September would be really nice to kind of get that out of the way.
All we can do is
before we
ask
start
them.
getting them. All
Okay.
right, well, I'm happy to meet with them, so. And I know that you also on the website, you looked at the bio page.
Yeah, we're
just
not doing
looking at
bios.
Demographic information, right?
Yes, we're not doing bios. We're just going to have a picture of the candidate, the position they're running for, their name as they want it shown on the ballot. And we're going to have the name of their treasurer and the email address and a contact phone number.
Okay, great.
And so it depending on what you do with Jared's application tonight, you can look at the website on Tuesday and his information should be up and you'll see what the page is actually going to look like.
Okay. All right. Okay. Any questions, Debbie?
Well, on this, are we moving on yet to the certificate of candidacy?
Not yet. I just didn't know if we had any.
Okay, yeah, no
for
more
Virginia.
questions. Yeah.
Okay, so the certificate of candidacy, we have one mayoral candidate for Jared Littman. So any comments?
Yeah, so this one doesn't have the email on it, but the new one will.
We have it. He submitted his certificate of candidacy. If you notice, it has 2 dates on it. He was required to do it when he started to
I see.
receive donations in the amount of $300. So we did verify all of his information at that time.
Okay. This one that was posted on the agenda, he didn't mark. It says statement of organization, check type, and there's
Mhm.
4 choices, and then your name. He put the name Friends of Jared Littman, but he didn't check what kind of committee it was. I assume it's a political partisan organization supporting a candidate.
And and he probably didn't check it because at the time that we had to certify him, but not officially by code, that box wasn't required to be checked.
Okay.
And Eileen okayed that because we talked to her about that. Remember, Eileen? A while ago, we talked about Jared and what he had to put on his.
Do we need to do it now, though? I noticed that it was empty too. Do we need to do it now?
We can, when he comes, we can ask him to put a check in the box.
If he comes in, ask him to check it and just date it and initial it.
Okay.
So it's complete.
And the only other thing is the treasurer didn't put down a zip code. I assume, he says he's in Ward 3. So I assume it's 21401.
Yes.
Mhm. Okay.
He just left it blank. He probably didn't notice, that you had to put in a number. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, that was the only one I noticed too. All right, well, can I have a motion to accept the certificate of candidacy of Jared Littman?
I so move. We accept Jared Littman's certificate of candidacy for, does he put mayor on here? Yes, for mayor.
Okay, second, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, legislative review. Okay, so under old business legislative review, let's start with all the first reader documents that Cynthia sent out. And I know that Teresa had looked at them and made a couple of comments. Any comments that you have, Debbie?
No, these are the ones from last month that we went over.
Right, but, oh, shoot,
Yeah, I didn't get anything in addition.
Cynthia, did you, I didn't even look at it. Maybe you didn't send them to Debbie.
Well,
Shoot.
I'll defer to you, Eileen. We kind of went over them last month.
Right, this was just, it wasn't this was just putting in all the changes that we had.
Right. I did have a note on the agenda last month.
I'm sorry. I didn't catch that. I'm sending them to you now.
Okay.
So anyway, there's nothing there's nothing in terms of substantial that is different in this than what we had already approved. Is that correct, Cynthia?
Yes, everything. So 017, 018, 019, and 020 are exactly what you approved, and they have tentatively been scheduled for the September 9th agenda for first reader to be introduced.
Okay, and they've already been approved. You did include legislative summaries, which was great. I did have a question about, on the summaries. I know that you put in that it did not affect the 2024 state or federal elections, and that it was just focused on the Annapolis elections. But I'm wondering if it would be beneficial to include that they will be in effect for the municipal elections in 2025.
I can certainly do that.
Eileen, let me just tell you, that legislation goes into effect once it's adopted by City Council.
All right, so they're not going to ask that question then. They'll know.
Huh?
I just was anticipating if somebody say, when does this take,
It takes effect upon adoption.
Okay, all right, so you don't think we need to say it? Okay. And then I just had one other comment. Actually, two comments. On 2024, which is surplus funds. On, I think it's under B, number 2.
What number?
I think it's surplus funds. I think it's, I'm looking at B. I have to look it up.
Oh,
B2.
24. Got it. All right.
Could we change fix to amend?
In the summary?
Yes. It's just a word thing since we use the word amend as an amended report.
All right.
And then on under E, number 2, I wasn't quite clear on that. To some exceptions are provided if a court is brought in due to an election or campaign issue. And then it says, and a candidate asks for a fee waiver due to the candidate's financial status. So the fee waiver, I understand, but I wasn't sure what the first part covered.
Okay, I'm catching up to you. E, all right. So repeat the question, please.
So number 2 under E, I don't quite understand it. To some exemptions are provided if a court is brought in due to an election or campaign issue. I'm not sure where that comes from or what that
means. If somebody appeals to the court.
In regards to the funds.
Right. Because the bill says that they can get a fee waiver if they go to the court.
Does our code say that? I don't think our code says
go
that.
to. Okay. $44,100. Okay, it says exceptions to a court rulings. A candidate may not be disqualified for failure to file a report or statement if a court of competent jurisdiction finds cause for the failure. And then the fee waiver is B.
Gotcha. Now I remember that part. Okay. All right. Thank you. Just when you think you know code. Thank you for checking that.
Sure.
All right. So that's all I have. Regina, do we need to approve anything since we've already approved the content for?
No, ma'am, it's ready to go.
All right. So is it being submitted for the
Agenda?
September 9th?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Should we, or somebody from the board attend, or it doesn't matter?
There's no speaking on legislation on first reading.
They'll let us know when it goes to committee.
Yes, ma'am.
I imagine it'll go to rules. Okay, great.
Probably rules and finance.
Okay. All right, great. So the other two pieces that are outstanding is provisional ballots and canvassing. And I believe at our last meeting, we felt that need a little bit more work, and hopefully Ashley has been able to take a look at it, so I can follow up with her. She was going to look at it and try to tease out what was applicable for us and what might not be applicable. So I'll follow up
Yeah, we were talking
with her on that.
about
And
my
then
note
hopefully
from
we do
last,
that in September.
yeah, my note from last month was we're considering adopting the state regulations, but making an exception clause, for if something
Right,
is particular to the city.
right. So I'll follow up with Ashley, so see if she's crafted anything. Okay. Anything else under legislative review? Okay, thank you again, Cynthia, for leading
Thank
us
you,
through this
Cynthia.
maze.
Of course.
Appreciate your time and your expertise. Okay, moving on to campaign fund reports. We did get one. Campaigns, we reviewed them at the last. Let me check. I'm getting an echo. Are you all getting an echo from me?
I am too, yeah.
From me?
It wasn't in the beginning, but it is now.
Yes,
Yeah, I don't know what's
echoes.
changed. Huh. I don't know what else to do. Well, we'll see if that. I just turned it on and off. Maybe that'll help.
Sounds good now.
We had 7 that required some form of an amended report. And we've gotten back Tierney's amended report where she gave back into the campaign the money for the flowers. So that's on Schedule 3. And they also added the aggregates, which had been asked of them,
And the codes.
and the codes. Okay. I did speak with her and her campaign manager, her treasurer and others to try to have it change, but it all worked out fine. I know she is in the process of putting forth a final report. She may be waiting for the code change that would allow surplus funds to go to a charitable group. I don't know that for a fact, but I did make her aware of it. She has remaining $1,366.49. So, but I did review surplus funds and where they can go with both her and her treasurer.
Okay, that's good.
All right, so if this looks okay for you, Debbie, you want to make a motion, we'll accept it?
Sure. I make a motion that we accept the amended report for Alderwoman Tierney that was received on August 15th, 2024.
Okay, I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Hopefully we'll get the remainder of them at the next meeting. And if the legislation won't be complete by then, they'll start getting their fees, but okay, fair election practices. I was hoping that we would get something from MIT so we could review the campaign fund report, but it looks like we don't have anything to review tonight. So I'm hoping for September that we can get that done. Anything else?
Not for me.
Excuse me.
Uh-huh.
I did hear from David Garris. He said that the board should be finalizing the MOU very soon.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm sure they're very busy. Okay. Under general discussion, I was just going to bring up, did talk with Mitchell, and I think Regina's talked with Mitchell too, about getting together possibly in the September meeting to talk about a communication plan about the election. I saw an interesting, we've used the word communication plan, but I saw something in another jurisdiction recently, and they call it a voter education plan or program. I kind of like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
But anyway, I was hoping for September, but it doesn't look like we're going to have a third member to our group, and I thought it might be worthwhile to hold off until a third person comes. Yes, Regina?
I did speak to Hillary Raftovich, and she did send a letter out to the Democratic Central Committee. She actually sent it out to Lonnie, and then she sent one to Josh Folk. And I actually spoke with him yesterday, and he said he would be happy to assist with finding a replacement for Keanu Smith-Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
But
going to submit a name to the mayor.
So is that something that if it's submitted, it could be approved like September, at the September 9th meeting?
No, not September 9th, the second meeting of September.
So
It
that
can't
would
be
be
the
after
9th
our
because we're
meeting.
getting ready. Yeah, we're putting that agenda together for the 9th, like Wednesday.
Okay. Well, let me talk with Mitchell, but I'm kind of inclined to wait until October so that the new member can be on board and get some get their perspective and feedback.
Okay.
Yeah, the Republican Central Committee received a letter as well,
Right.
asking for names, to submit names for the replacement. So I know they're working on that. And the thought is it might be a good chance to get an independent or an unaffiliated involved. Is that, do the three members currently have to be of one of the main parties?
Yes.
All right, so we're looking to change that though, going forward, to either expand the membership or to allow unaffiliated or independents.
Well, the idea would be if we expanded to 5, it would be able to include an independent. So if I'm recalling code correctly, technically it has to be one of each current party, and then the mayor can, the third person is one of those parties. Generally, it goes with whatever the majority is, so.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be a nice opportunity though to get a third of our voters are unaffiliated.
Well, we can certainly start working on that. We've been
Sure.
busy with some of the other legislation, so we can certainly, I know that the council is willing to do it. It's just a question of coming up with the process.
Yeah.
And one of the things that had come up with it is the concept of if we go to nonpartisan elections, that somewhat changes it too. So
Right.
it's kind of a couple of different things going on.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll wait. I'll talk with Mitchell, but we're probably going to go to the October meeting for that. All right. And anything else that we need to talk about? Teresa, I see that you were able to join us. Welcome.
Thank you, Eileen. I hope you can hear me.
I
Yes.
can.
So there was a glitch, as you can well imagine. I apologize for the interruption and not being involved from the very beginning of the meeting. So hopefully the glitches in the future will not prevent me from being more timely. So
No problem. No problem.
okay.
The pros and cons of our virtual lives these days. We've touched base on a number of things. Is there anything, Teresa, that you want to mention that you've been hearing, finding, doing in your?
No, so far I think it's just it has been a very easy transition. It's has a nice timing rhythm to it. So we have already had one certificate of candidacy come in. We just had received that second certificate of candidacy for alderperson. So things from my end are going very smoothly, and So I have, you know, no issues at this point in time to really raise.
Mm-hmm. Great. And remind me, you're in what, Monday through Thursday?
Thursday. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
And what are your hours generally?
They're 8:30 to 4:30.
Okay. Okie dokie. All right. Anything else? I said it was going to be short.
Yay.
All right. So our next meeting is September
19?
19th.
19th.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Is that Zoom or in person?
I thought we were gonna do virtual until you get your new person.
Yeah, I think we should do virtual because I think when we meet with Mitchell, Mitchell has asked for it to be in person.
Mhm.
Good.
So Regina, if you, Regina or Teresa, if you could check with Mark to see if October could be kind of get us as a tentative in-person meeting.
Absolutely.
All right, well, it's getting real. It's August. We're really in the election calendar.
Yes.
Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I motion that the Board of Supervisors of Elections adjourn at 7:32
Great.
on August 22nd.
All right, all in
2024.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. And
Regina wants